listeners, and welcome to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, Bunker Edition. Good morning, Marissa. How's it going, fam?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am fabulous. I mean, isn't this weather so crazy? I mean, at least it's
I
SoCal.
love
I
it.
mean, you get the nice, hot, sunny weather where everybody can jump and have a beach pool day. Not a beach day. I'm not that close to the beach.
Enjoy the cold weather now because we're about to turn into hell.
That is so true. But I mean, it's always that perfect weather where you can listen to brand new music, and we got absolutely that for everybody today. But before I get into all that gist, we always like to start this off at the top of the show because on this day in 1996, Pantera released one of their iconic albums, The Great Southern Trendkill. And also on this day in 1909, scientist and inventor Edward Herbert Land was born. You might know him as the co-founder of the Polaroid Corporation. I mean, he was the one who made it possible for a picture to be taken and developed in 60 seconds. I mean, think about the technology we have today with our photo bursts, with our iPhones. But with that being said, we've got a great show for everybody that's tuning in for the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, because our guest, as our strike a chord artist, is drummer Chris Dalley, returning to the Chris Collins Show to discuss his punk band's latest brand new EP, The Back Nine. You might know them. They're a familiar name, Authority Zero. So we're beyond stoked for that. And also, don't forget to check out our brand new YouTube episode drop featuring our guest on Just Talking, Red Gooter, a magician specializing in virtual magic. He's got up and close stuff. It's personal and it's mind blowing. He's got a show tomorrow at 5 p.m. on playupstreams.org. So check that out. All right, Marissa, it's time to rock and roll. All right, this is hashtag TLDR. Too long, don't read. Marissa and I, we did all the reading for you, so you didn't have to do it. So, listeners, it's no secret that A-list celebrities are considering running for office in the future. I mean, just think about it. Caitlyn Jenner. But do celebrities like Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Matthew McConaughey understand that all positive goodwill from the people will go away as soon as either man makes their political opinions known? Well, the king of all media believes that's the case. In an article from Fox News titled, Howard Stern warns Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Matthew McConaughey against starting political careers by Tyler McCarthy. So, despite the two men seemingly having the will of the people at their backs, Howard Stern cautioned A-list celebrities, naming The Rock and Matthew McConaughey, from starting their respective political careers. So, the king of all media further explained that the celebrities' charisma won't be able to help them avoid discussing politics on every issue. And I have to say, I agree with Howard Stern. I mean, could you imagine Matthew McConaughey being asked, Mr. McConaughey, what do you think of the border crisis in Texas?
All right.
Okay. And Mr. McConaughey, can you speak on the condition of unaccompanied minors in cages in your state?
All right.
Okay, but I mean, it only gets worse with The Rock, right? I mean, can you imagine him on Media Day announcing his bid for president, being asked, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, are you in favor of defunding the police?
It doesn't matter what you think!
Well, Dwayne The Rock, whatever preference you prefer, should trans athletes be allowed to compete in female sports?
It doesn't matter what you think!
Got it. But what A-list celebrities such as The Rock and Matthew McConaughey need to understand is this. Voters care about issues. So if you're truly serious about running for office, don't simply run because of name recognition. I mean, call Howard old-fashioned, but you've got to do a little public service before you get an important job like governor or president of the United States.
Okay, so if you all follow me on my socials, then you know that this topic I have struck a chord with me, especially in the last few weeks. So, in an article from CNBC titled 44% of older millennials already have a chronic health condition by Megan Linhart. The obesity epidemic may be one of the root causes of the rise in rates of hypertension, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. Because she states, studies show millennials are far less likely to be smokers, making diseases related to smoking less common. So, woo woo! We've got like one chalk up on our healthy living habits against 1,000 horrible other habits that we have. And honestly, I mean, it breaks my heart to go on Facebook and I see my friends that I grew up with battling debilitating diseases that are a direct result of our past punk rock lifestyle. I mean, Chris, when is our generation going to understand what it means to self-love and self-care?
Yeah, I mean, what are some of these punk rock lifestyles that you're talking about, Marissa?
Well, I mean, for me, I think I was heavy alcoholic from 15 on up until I got into like my 20s. But a lot of my friends had to go into pure sobriety, ex-heroin junkies, ex-meth addicts, alcoholics. So even though they're sober now, our bodies are falling down because the motto was live fast, die young. Right. But we didn't die young. So the live fast doesn't help.
Well, I think you're the better person to speak on this. Real briefly, I think you need to share your experience because I know you've been such a workhorse keeping your body fit. You've been actually a big inspiration even for myself, even though I've cut back big time. Yeah. I started really big in January and then I've completely fell off the path. For people like myself, and I'm sure listeners that are tuning in are feeling the same experience as I am. What are some of your advices to get back in the groove?
At least daily exercise takes 30 minutes a day of moving your body to get some muscles. I'm eating healthier. I still drink and eat like, you know what I mean? My little cheese and sweets, but I moderate it. So I'm not binging on it. And I'm also like drinking my Kangen water, which is going to like fix all my insides and outsides. And look at these guns.
Look at those guns. I mean, if you just spend 30 minutes a day exercising, 10 minutes stretching, you're going to look as kick-ass as Marissa Pitts.
That's right. I mean, look, we all have to change our standard of living so that even though we live longer, we live healthy. It sucks to be old and decrepit, right? So look, YOLO, you only live once, so take care of it now.
That's right, Marissa. In an article from Vulture titled, "The Grammys Ditch Controversial Anonymous Nominating Committees" by Zoe Haylock. So the Grammys governing body voted to eliminate the use of anonymous expert committees on Friday. That was last Friday. A process that has long spurred controversy. So you might remember The Weeknd's comments to the New York Times when he said, quote, "Because of the secret committees, I will no longer allow my label to submit music to the Grammys. So committees will no longer be used for the top 4 awards or genre categories, but they will remain for the 11, quote, craft categories." I guess that's anything to do with production, packaging, album notes, and more. So, Marissa, I mean, I've been speaking for a while about my disdain for the Grammys. I even know that we've mentioned Deborah Dugan. So anybody who doesn't remember her, she was the Academy's former chief and first female president who accused this committee member, the secret committees, of having conflict of interest. I just want to remind somebody of one of the prime examples that was brought up from her because this is kind of startling. One of the example was a legal complaint about her removal of the job, and she told the Times that an artist who was up for Song of the Year was allowed to sit on the committee.
Yeah. That'd be like me going for an Oscar, voting for me. I'd be like, of course I would. I would be like, you know, running for president, of course they're going to vote for me. Like, why would I not do any of that?
But I guess the real question still remains, Marissa. I'm going to throw it at you. Will The Weeknd return to the Grammys? I don't think so, but don't let me form your opinion.
He won't this next year, but I think he will come back. Grammy winner sells albums, period.
That's a really, really great point. And that's right, Marissa. Time will only tell.
Hold on, I'm getting it.
what's good, listeners? This is Just Talking, where Marissa and I discuss all the latest news circulating around the world this week. And listeners, I got to admit, I'm kind of shocked that this story is not being discussed further with our generation, especially with the media outlets. But maybe there's a reason for that, Marissa. It's because you can't name a radio host under the age 35 years or younger because they don't care
Chris
about
Collins
this
and
issue.
Marissa Pitts.
It's the
That's
Marissa
it.
Pitt. That's it. That's
us
literally
too.
it. So you're going to be literally the first people to hear about this because, listeners, college athletes in Georgia are now allowed to collect endorsements and sponsorships, but there's a catch. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has signed a bill starting on July 1st that allows schools to take up 75% of an athlete's endorsement income and redistribute it to other athletes. So to put this in perspective, prospect Marissa Pitts will only make $25,000 on a $100,000 endorsement agreement. So with schools like Georgia and Georgia Tech, will this new move be a disadvantage in recruiting? I mean, Marissa, my first thought was this. It's really funny how you hear some liberals and they're calling out this move. But then I look at the Republicans like Governor Brian Kemp and it's going, that's really funny how you like this form of socialism.
Okay.
But you're not in favor.
All right. So I had on the surface, I am for paying the athletes if they're going to make money for the schools, right? That athletes should get it. So at first I was upset. I was like, taking out 75% and giving it, where is it going? Well, as you had stated, if, big IF, if it is going to your other players, now I'm behind it. Because the thing about team sports is it's a team. One of the problems, my dad played professional football. One of the problems he had with professional football versus college, he had more fun in college because it was actual a team effort. They were together. In the NFL pro, it's you're your own person. You want the most scores. You want the most money. It has nothing really to do with your
Throw
teammates.
this at you, though?
Throwing money to your teammates builds a team. So I'm actually kind of behind it.
Can I throw this at you, though? Because I know I've hampered this statistic plenty of times on the show, but do you really imagine college athletes, student athletes actually getting endorsement deals like crazy? They say that fewer than 2% of NCAA student athletes go on to be professional athletes out of the 460,000. So how is that?
So then that's the whole point. That's how it levels the playing field for your teammates. So if I'm on USC and they don't really know who I am, but you have two players on there who are making that 150,000, 200,000 a year, the animosity behind that can start building behind the scenes. Now, you're going to prop your other players up if you're getting a chunk of that check. Right, and it's all if it's going to players. I'm not talking about.
But imagine if the Ball brothers were still in UCLA
and I would want some of their money. Hey, as a teammate,
and then they make it super
water.
awkward at the Bruins Stadium. They're just like, dude, I can't make this happen. But you heard it first. We're gonna see what's up. It's starting on July 1st in the state of Georgia. In March of 2020, before the pandemic fully closed its grip on the economy, the world's leading cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, was hanging around $5,000 per coin. Well, that was well below the 2017 peak of nearly $20,000. But as of April 2021, Bitcoin reached an all-time high of more than $63,000. I mean, it's insane. And listeners, Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency that's rallying. Ethereum, it's the second largest cryptocurrency by value, hit an all-time high of $3,400 last month. And Marissa, sometimes I wonder, why doesn't our generation put this much energy into the stock exchange? I mean, we put more energies into selling shoes on the side, and then our next gig is crypto. Like, what's going on?
I feel the stock exchange, I mean, unless you have a parent or a mentor who does have stock and teaches you as a young person, like how to invest, how to grow your wealth. My mom has some stock, so I kind of get it, but she never sat down. I don't even know how to balance a checkbook, okay? So
but you can ask those questions in front of a high school teacher. You can't do this with crypto.
But that's the whole point. The crypto, because I am on Brock Pierce previous episode. Please go watch it.
Yep.
I'm on this bandwagon right now. Honestly, I don't have the money to play like he does, but I took my $100 and I invested it into Cardona, which is an Ethereum style Coinbase. I've made a little money, but what my mentor, because I'm kind of like getting way more into it now, so I have a mentor. I'm like so excited. I'll let you know more about it, Chris.
All right.
But he's like, it's not so much for my wealth, but my daughter's wealth. Where is it going to be in 15, 20 years? Right.
But-
and that to me is pretty awesome. I think it's fun.
But like Marissa, to me, being crypto is no different than buying a lotto ticket. I mean,
And I do that too.
Don't you feel like investing in cryptocurrency is a big leap of faith?
Yes, just like buying a lottery ticket. And so when I become a lottery winner, I'm going to remember this episode,
You know
Chris.
why crypto seems like lotto? Because it's like the minute the day passes and your numbers aren't there, well, there's no value to the ticket after that.
It's
And
true.
that's kind of what crypto feels like to me.
But
I mean, it's
what
a huge
if-
stretch, but we'll see. And you said Ethereum, $200, so you own like 1/18 of a coin?
Well, I bought it at the Cardona was like $1 per, like whatever it is. I bought it for
But
$1.
I always see those.
I
It's
bought
like buy
$100
Doja coin,
And now it's like
$1 for a
17.
coin, and it's such a scam. And people,
I haven't
just-
bought Dogecoin.
Right. I don't have the facts on how much the Doja coin goes around, but we're seeing here
66
Ethereum
cents right now.
3,004. How much now?
It's Dogecoin is worth like 66 cents right now. So if you bought it at the 14
there's
cents,
no way.
no, when you buy the share, and so people have
The
made
share,
on
okay, the share.
$1,000. People are now have like $14,000. The thing about Dogecoin that you have to know about, you
Yeah.
got to know when to sell it because it is fake. Right?
Right.
So you need to know when are you gonna dump it to get the most money because one morning you're gonna wake up and it's all gonna be gone. So cryptocurrency is money you play with that you can
Right.
lose. Hence
Well,
my
I
$100.
guess I'll leave this on a final note. If you're not willing to throw $20 on a lotto scratcher, don't throw $100 on cryptocurrency. That's just my
Oh.
No,
Okay,
it's
well,
all good.
bye.
We'll actually jump straight to this one. So we'll go
Okay.
straight on into it. Why not? So SpaceX has received more than 500,000 pre-orders for its Starlink satellite internet service and anticipates no technical problems meeting the demand, founder Elon Musk said on Tuesday. So SpaceX has not set a date for Starlink service launch, but the company plans to eventually deploy 12,000 satellites in total and has said that the Starlink constellation will cost it roughly $10 billion. So, Marissa, when I first heard about Starlink satellite internet service, I immediately thought this. In 10 years' time, there is going to be a new way of doing things in life. I mean, this is the latter part of the 21st century. I mean, I could give one prime example. And, hey, if you're listening, Mint Mobile, sponsor us right now because I'll give you a huge plug right now for free. I was experiencing a lot of extreme fees just to own a line on Verizon on a family plan. Everybody knows how much it can be. It's like in the $80 to $90. I needed to try something new because I left the family plan. Now I'm independent. So the minute I joined Mint Mobile, I found out I'm paying like $30 to $40 a month per line, which has nearly dropped half of my cost. And the reason I bring up Mint Mobile is they kind of remind me of like Starlink and these satellite services. Mint Mobile, they don't have an overhead. And when I say they don't have an overhead, that means there's no Mint Mobile mall shop. There's none of that. You have to do that all virtually online. I think that's where we're starting to move in the 21st century. But it is incredible to see that people threw down $100, Marissa,
I know.
for pre-orders. 500,000. How incredible is that?
I want it. I want the satellite, and I actually tried to switch to Mint, but I owe AT&T for 2 phones, and they were like, "If you cancel, you owe me all that money." So I'm stuck with AT&T for 2 more years.
But let's go back to the Starlink though. I mean,
Yeah.
would you be invested? I mean, you've already thrown
100%.
200
said
down on crypto.
100%.
Are you
I
going
want
to get
satellite.
behind the pre-orders? Because I know
I
they're
would-
refundable.
I would love to, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
look at it this weekend. I ain't got no money this week, but maybe next month I can have my pre-order. Hey,
Right. I mean, it's really
Mhm.
cool things. Elon Musk was approved by the USA that they can fly their satellites in a low Earth orbit. So hopefully this new technology works because then that means US Americans who have never received any kind of 4G, 5G experience can now have that in the world. This is insane. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are reportedly selling the rights to their song catalog, which includes hits like Under the Bridge, Give It Away, and Californication for $140 million. So last year, Bob Dylan sold his 600-song catalog for more than $300 million to Universal Music, and Stevie Nicks sold hers to Primary Wave for $100 million. So with that being said, reports, according to Billboard, state that the Red Hot Chili Peppers music catalog generates between $5 to $6 million a year for publishers. So to put that in perspective, that sold for 25 times as much. So Marissa, this is something I've been trying to grapple with, because now we're starting to see the latest big name acts see a windfall from their sales with their music catalogs. So do you see more modern artists joining this trend? Because I think so.
I think so. And our producer had a great point about it. If you are living on the money that is in your bank and then you're actually losing the game.
Yeah.
So you have to be living off of capital and revenue being brought in. And because of the pandemic, they haven't been able to tour. They haven't been able to make that type of money. And right now is at the highest they could probably get for their stuff. And I think it's a smart move, especially as you said, for Red Hot Chili Peppers. Smart move. We're going to see more of it until bands start traveling again.
Right, and I feel like it comes to that point where I saw an interview 2 weeks ago with Korn. It was with the guitarist. He was speaking about how, do you really want to keep touring for the rest of your life until you're like an old hag like the Rolling Stones? I mean, I still love the Rolling Stones, but
they were so good, even as an old hag.
They look haggard. I still love them, but they look haggard. Some modern bands nowadays are contemplating whether they want that lifestyle for themselves. I think, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are realizing that they're not selling as much new music nowadays. They could sell out venues, but they're not making any money with the streaming services. So why own the rights for it if you're making next to nothing? So that's why they're selling off their music. So we'll share this briefly with you guys, because on Saturday, some asshat named Edward became a viral sensation overnight as a Starbucks barista shared a photo of a complicated order with many other employees chiming in with photos and stories of the insane customer request. So at Project Josie on Twitter shared the photo in the middle with the caption, "On today's episode of Why I Want to Quit My Job." The special request includes, but not limited to, caramel drizzle, caramel sauce, caramel crunch, honey blend, extra whipped cream, extra ice, extra frap chips, and cinnamon topping. So Marissa, when you were wondering earlier why we're still fat asses, blame Starbucks for this, because the company later responded, telling Fox News in a statement, quote, "Customizing beverages at Starbucks and our baristas' expertise, in helping customers find and craft the right beverage has and always will be the heart of the Starbucks experience." So, Marissa, this is the main reason why I don't ever want to work in the food industry, but I know you have plenty of experience in that realm. Are you looking forward to jumping back into it once life gets back to normal? Because this scares me.
I would never be a Starbucks barista because of that reason. Like, legit, like that right there would kill me. I hate people that do the massive modifications when I serve. Like, I actually do. I'm like, please just go cook at home. It's one thing to like take away the bacon. I've had some crazy stuff where I'm like, just cook at home. You're making the cook's life miserable, and you ask for it during dinner rush when we're so busy. Thank you.
I feel like you must have a problem if you're an ongoing Starbucks customer and they immediately know your order with 10 to 15 toppings on it.
Hopefully they don't spit in it. If they spit in it, it's your fault.
Oh, damn. Well, an online online petition calling for Tokyo Olympics to be canceled has gained over 170,000 signatures since being launched in Japan only days ago. So the rollout of the petition comes with Tokyo, Osaka, and several other areas under a state of emergency with coronavirus infections rising, particularly the new variants. So the state of emergency is to expire on May 11th, but some reports in Japan say it is likely to extend. But the postponed Olympics are to open in just under 3 months on July 23rd, with roughly 80% of the Japanese citizens in polls say they want the games canceled or postponed. And there's no indication this will happen. So as we reported before, there's not much progress being happened within the Japanese population, as only 2% of citizens have been vaccinated. And I don't know about you listeners, but it seems like having people from all over the world gather in one place at a COVID variant hotspot to only return home might not sound like such a good idea right now. And I'm going to tell you why. Because yesterday, a highly recognized infectious disease expert, Dr. Kapila, fully vaccinated, dies in India from the new COVID variant when visiting his family for a brief trip. This is startling. And on a level, Marissa, I kind of blame the broadcasters on a level, because this is all motivated by money already spent. The IOC, Japan Nation, they have spent 73% of the Olympics budget into selling the games. I mean, are you really going to tell me, broadcasters out there who sold the advertising money, that you can't find someone else to fill that slot? I mean, why are we putting the risk of 11,000 athletes in hands of this new COVID variant? What do you think, Marissa? You got?
I totally agree.
I feel like you're speechless, right? I mean, it's crazy.
I agree with you. I just 100% agree with you. It's
right. It's just so insane. And we also learned 2 weeks ago, when they were doing the torch relay practice, 8 people tested positive. So let's really think about what we're doing moving forward. We got the big fight that's already brewing up, and we're not even in the boxing ring. So Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Jake Paul were involved in a very physical brawl at the press conference for the legendary Boxers Expedition bout with internet sensation Logan Paul. So don't get confused, Logan Paul, with Jake Paul. Jake Paul was the one who fought the Bellator star Ben Askren. So, with that being said, Jake Paul got in Floyd Mayweather's face when the prized boxer told the media present that he's willing to fight both Paul brothers on the same pay-per-view card. So let's roll the clip.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Hammond.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Hammond.
Let me call Al Hammond.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss.
One night. Got your hat.
Oh,
got your hat. Got your hat.
Chill. Bitch, play my fucking camera, motherfucker. Bitch, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. When I catch you, motherfucker, I kill you, motherfucker. You crazy?
There's just like so much footage. Like, we couldn't even show you all of it because we still want to have some time to chime in on this.
I now love Jake Paul. I now love him because I cannot stand Floyd Mayweather, who is a woman beater, and has been already. I would hope to see him lose. Unfortunately, I think Mayweather has better skills. So,
absolutely, hands down.
I do. I just really hope Paul.
Well, the thing is, it won't be Jake Paul fighting Floyd. It will be Logan Paul. But
Logan Paul.
Maybe
I want to see Jake Paul. I want to see Jake Paul kick his ass.
I think most people want to see Jake Paul get his ass in the ring right away. But I mean, the thing that kind of startled me with this was, Marissa, I saw the most outlandish tweet yesterday on this incident. And it came from an individual on Twitter. His name's Andrew Joseph. He's a writer for the USA Today Sports. And he tweets, "This was 100% staged. Can't convince me otherwise." So it seems pretty authentic to me when Floyd starts screaming, "I'll kill the mother effer," fuming from ear to ear. What do you think?
100%.
I mean, think about it like this. If Jake Paul gets a run in, let's say a drive-by shooting, who do you think is going to get hit up for that incident right away? Floyd Mayweather
Yes.
Jr. He said, "I'll kill that
It was
mother
legit.
effer."
No, it was not staged because Mayweather has an ego. He would never allow himself to be punked by getting his hat ripped off of his head. It was not staged.
And let me remind Andrew Joseph, writer for the USA Today on sports. Do you remember when Conor McGregor, during the media press conference, rubbed the shiny head of Floyd Mayweather, never phased him once? Well, this obviously got under his skin. So to that point, seems pretty damn authentic. Yeah, what's good, listeners? Our guest returning to the Strike a Chord segment is drummer Chris Dalley from Authority Zero, live on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. Also, keep a lookout for a brand new podcast series, Off the Fret, featuring the Blowies as our inaugural guest. More music talk. So what's going on, Dalley? You look so cozy on this evening.
Yeah, I'm just relaxing.
That's what's up, man. And we're beyond stoked to have you on, man, because I just want to let the listeners who are might be new to the show, but Chris Dalley, he's been a supporter of us since day one. You came on during season 1, and now we're on to season 8, 2 years in the game with over 100+ episodes. So I want to give you a huge shout out, man, because people might know this if you listen to the first episode. I am the biggest fanatic of Authority Zero. Like,
why?
It's like, why is it one of my
He's
biggest
a
favorite
fangirl, and
I'm the biggest fangirl.
he wants you to sign his tits. And
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh!
say
Now that you
we're
bring
not
that
at
up,
22
might as
West,
well.
he wants you to sign his titties. Go
Well,
ahead and sign them.
now that you're bringing that up, might as well share it real quick. Last time, Marissa made a comment saying that, hey, you know, Chris is being such a fangirl of Authority Zero, he would love for Dalley to sign his tits. And I go, I allow him to sign my tits every day. So 22S Radio actually suspended us from the air for 2 weeks from that show. So if it makes you feel better, that's our only time we've ever been suspended.
Congratulations, I guess.
I know, right?
That's the punk rock lifestyle. You can't say
Totally.
But Dalley, let's get right on into it, because the greatest surprise of 2021 was when you reached out to me via Facebook to share your brand new album before the rest of the world heard the announcement. But I do have to say at the top of the show, I was a bit caught off guard when I saw last month that Authority Zero released The Back Nine, the band's first EP ever. I mean, why did AZ decide to switch towards this direction?
We're basically just doing a snowball effect right now. I mean, we can't really tour right now at the time, so get listeners excited about stuff. So I mean, we did a single for Ollie Ollie Oxen Free, and then did another single for Fire Off Another, and we're doing the EP, and might be an announcement in the next few days for a full length. Who knows?
Ooh, I like hearing that. But I mean, so obviously COVID did play a factor in the decision making behind the scenes for the band to actually hold back and not release all of the tracks. I mean, is there, because one of my first thoughts on this was, obviously, I thought part of the reason why you guys didn't drop the full length album was because of the new addition to the band, guitarist Eric Walsh. Did that have any influence in delaying the full length album or not?
No, not at all. We actually were. It takes a long time for the whole process to do. We recorded in November. Didn't get mixed until January, mastering all that stuff. And then, finding artwork and getting artwork done and deciding what we're going to put out as a single. And then, of course, the auditions took place too. So, that really didn't have a direct, we already knew it was going to come out in late spring, early summer, which is what it's coming out as.
And I know I'm going to be definitely tackling that a little later in the interview about that online submission, because I can only imagine that is so insane. But Dalley, it was my understanding, because you've already jumped on it, and we're going to be playing that song for all the listening audience out there today. But Ollie Ollie Oxen Free, it's my understanding that first single from the Back Nine originated from a decade-old drum roll that never seemed to work out for you and previous bands until bassist Mike Sparrow put a guitar lick to it. Is that sort of how it originated?
Mike Sparrow is a crazy, demented genius, is what he is. I came up with this drum riff, the opening riff that you hear on the song, 15 years ago. And wow. I played it for other people and going, I don't know what to do with that. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I mean, it would just like be my sound check stuff. Like when we do a sound check, and then we were doing pre-production for the new record, and I'm like, Mike, can you come up with something like this? He goes, and he just went to his phone and he did like an audio recording of the thing. He goes, all right. And then came to the rehearsal place the next day. He goes, hey, I wrote the song. I'm like, what? Like in 12 hours, he wrote the song.
Damn. So
And
15 years of band members cycling in and out. Nobody could put anything to work with it. And Mike Sparrow, that mad genius of himself, which we have to remind everybody, he's the bassist in the band, but he's also phenomenal with playing the guitars. And while we're at this point, I was kind of grappling with this idea. Like, I know that you guys were going through the whole guitars online submission. You ended up finding Eric Walsh, but like, who in the band? Is it Jason? Is it Mike? I know you play the drums, but do you play a little bit of the guitar? Who has to remember all those songs when someone moves on? Like, do you go to ultimateguitar.com? I mean, do you write it down? I mean, how's that work?
Well, I mean, you always put your recordings down. I mean, Mike's one of those guys where him and Jason, who writes the songs, lion's share of all the songs, they lay them down, and they basically will know it by ear after they play it a few times.
Wow.
So I mean, it's now, I mean, it's getting harder now because this is our third full length in 4 years.
Right.
It's like, okay, now we have to try to figure out how we're going to condense into a 75-minute set now, but we also want to promote the new record too, but also not overdo it.
I know. I mean, especially right now, we're about to be playing you one of your live stream performances that you had with Spin Magazine. Phenomenal. It was so insane to see you guys hit the waves. And we're about to show that for everybody right now, because you got to see how kick-ass Chris Dalley, Mike, and Jason and Eric are performing live. And I know they're about to be hitting live performances soon. So this is Ollie Ollie Oxen Free.
That wasn't the song you said to play on your thing.
We're playing Ollie Ollie Oxen Free.
That wasn't what you had on the breakdown.
No, I do, Marissa.
Fire up another.
Yes,
hold on.
It is.
That wasn't what you had.
Oh, Marissa. All right, we're about to get right on into it. We're about to let the listening audience know what's good. This is Authority Zero.
FYI, you had Fire Off Another. FYI.
You know who's firing off another? Chris Collins. He's firing off another.
Okay.
We got
all I know is
Zero.
I screw up. Hold on. Ollie Ollie Oxen Free coming right up. Okay.
All right, let's get it. This is Authority Zero. Ollie Ollie Oxen Free off their brand new EP, The Back Nine.
Time when I got truly alive, by the time I became your boss, don't get me wrong, the quality still assembly survive, and so on, rationing out my words. See, there's nowhere left to turn, still I don't understand just what's going on. Just hold on and be strong and belong in good company. Hold on and be strong and bring us to sweet harmony. Looming over, throw up your hands, draw you closer, can you hear me? Ollie Ollie, Ollie Oxen Free. Let's go! I'm always one step behind. An evolutionary king in the line. But the rest on yourself, all life on either side. You didn't know when, tell me when do you turn? When there's no one to save you, nothing beside this host. Now calling out your name, I just don't understand just what's going on. Just hold on and be strong and belong in good company. Hold on and be strong and bring us to sweet harmony. Pull me closer, throw up your hands, draw you closer, can't you hear me? Ollie Ollie, Ollie Oxen, all along, tripping on every stone. Along the way, they think you're all that is so far gone. illusion, delusion of days, aggravation, deviation, face the pavement, just pick yourself up again, now calling out your name, hold on and be strong and belong in good company, hold on and be strong and bring us to sweet harmony, yeah, hold me closer, throw up your hands, draw you closer, can you hear me? Ollie Ollie, Ollie Oxen, Ollie Oxen 3!
Hey, that's what's up. You're listening to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. That's Authority Zero. That's their brand new single, Ollie Ollie Oxen Free, and that was on Spin Magazine's feed. So we definitely want to give them also a huge shout out because that was an amazing production. And
my apologies, it was my fault. I read the breakdown wrong.
You know what? Damn it!
You blame Chris.
I did.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least I am woman enough. I am woman enough to admit when I'm wrong.
I guess
and
the real
say my
question
bad.
is, which Chris do you blame most?
Both of you, because you're both Chris's, so you share the blame equal, 50-50.
Okay, so C square. We get to
Okay.
we get to feel the blame together. But I just want to remind all the listeners out there, you're listening to Strike a Chord. We got Chris Dalley, the drummer. And I gotta say this, you guys sound so kick-ass live. It almost sometimes sounds better than the album. And I mean that in a huge compliment because the album is so damn good, but you guys thrash it out that there's like this whole other hidden element that comes out, and you clearly see that in this performance right here. Obviously, something's gluing within the band, so I'm very excited to see what's up. But I know there was a piece that was left in the void, and that was looking for that guitarist, right? And you guys had over 200 plus online submissions for a new guitarist. And what made AZ say Eric Walsh is our guy?
Well, the funny thing was, the record was not even supposed to be even made pre-pandemic. We were supposed to have 7 months of touring last year. That, of course, didn't happen. Right. But we just wrote a new record, and we were like going, okay, what are we gonna do? Because Dan, our previous guitar player, he found his true love in acting, and we wish him the best, and we're still buds and all that stuff.
I know he's on the Good Girls. I saw him pop up on that actually.
Absolutely.
My parents have been watching it.
So we wish him nothing but the best. He's a great guy. But we didn't know how to really tackle this because we had never done open auditions before. So our singer Jason was particularly nervous because it's a new thing.
And that's
so when we announced it, once we announced it, it was a flood, and we had some people that we knew that had submitted. Hey, I'd like to do this and all that stuff. But once Eric submitted, all of us have known Eric for years. Poor Habit's first tour, when Eric was all of 17, 18 years old, was opening up for Authority Zero. So there was no really getting to know you. We knew he's a shredder. We knew he's a kick-ass guitarist, a kick-ass person. And so we just brought him out there. We tried him out, and we knew the first song. I saw Mike had that big smile on his face. I'm like, he's in. Even before, there was no words said. I saw Mike's face. I'm like, yeah, he's in the band.
Yeah. That's because the last time I've seen anybody do an online submission to this extent is Megadeth, when they were trying to look for their drummer. So I've never seen any other band do what you guys did. I feel like that is such a huge risk because you got all your fans eyeballs all on you guys. And did you guys feel kind of stressed about that, or are you guys like, I don't give two shits? The guy that we pick is the guy that we pick.
There's always a bit of uncertainty anyway. Who's submitting just because they're a fan of the band? Do they even know how to play guitars? You have to weed all that stuff out. But it was pretty easy. Once we went through all that stuff, so it was pretty cool.
That's so true. And I know Marissa kind of had a little bit of a jump on it, but we're about to be playing that song Fire Off Another. And I like the lyrics to it because there is that kind of uncertainty to it. And what I like about your punk music is, because I know a lot of the punk bands, we're very much involved in the kind of the political world, but you guys don't really have that on this EP, which I kind of like. You kind of leave it up to the listening audience, unless am I missing something? I don't know. But I really caught off. I really like the line where you go, I'm right, you're wrong, we can do this all day long. How did that kind of get inspired? Where was Jason's mind at, Mike's and Chris, when you guys were all creating this song?
Well, Jason's the primary lyric writer. So he basically lets us even try to interpret our own way. He doesn't really tell us what he's writing about. He lets it they interpret. Okay, what do you think this means? Which I think is like a very smart way to go, because people could take it the wrong way and all that stuff. So hey, take what my lyrics are and interpret it yourself in your own, which you're familiar with. So as far as the music goes, I mean, I knew the song was just a banger from the pre-production demos that Mike sent me on his from his garage band. So it's like I knew the song was gonna be a smasher beforehand. So I mean, it's a song that I'm super stoked to be a part of, and I mean, it's an honor. I mean, Mike knows me more than most people do as my drumming style. He knew what I wanted, what I was trying to accomplish, and we killed it with that one. I felt.
Absolutely, and we're about to see you kill it on the drums, and Mike kill it on the bass, and we're about to see Eric kill it on the guitar, and we're about to see Jason do what he does best. This is Authority Zero, and this song's called Fire Off Another.
Doesn't seem strange to you. I had the best intentions away with you. All these waiting questions tell my down. You know you saw it coming, no surprise. People knew the group had just kept running under your thumb, pressing your intentions. Typical reaction. Yeah, one by one. Facing immediate attention. Fire up another, you're in over your head. Fire up another from the moment that you said I'm right, you're wrong. You do this all day long, right? Fire up another, you're in over your head. Fire up another from the moment that you said I'm right, you're wrong. We can do this all day long. Fire up another, I'll be right here. What it started as a joke turned quickly to confessions, and the second that you spoke, immediate destruction, such a chronic cosmic rogue, beating up affection, no distraction, non-attraction, immediate destruction, under your thumb, changing your direction, typical reaction, yeah, one by one, facing immediate attention, fire up another, you're in over your head, fire up another from the moment that you said I'm right, you're wrong. We could do this all day long. I'm right, you're wrong. Fire up another, rolling over your head. Fire up another from the moment that you said I'm right, you're wrong. We could do this all day long. Fire up another, I'm right here. It's getting cold outside. There's a storm rolling in. It's gonna take a while to apprehend what has been. It's getting cold outside. There's a breeze in the air. It's gonna take a little while to apprehend what has been. It's getting cold outside. There's a breeze in the air. It's gonna take a little while to apprehend what has been. Fire up another, yelling over your head. Fire up another from the moment that you said I'm right, you're wrong. We can do this all day long. I'm right, you're wrong. Fire up another, yelling over your head. Fire up another from the moment that you said I'm right, you're wrong. We can do this all day long. Fire up another, I'll be right here. You're wrong. You guys have been great tonight. Thanks so very much for Authority.
Up. That's what's up. That is Authority Zero. That is one of their other brand new singles. It's called Fire Off Another. You can check out those songs on their Back 9 EP. And we got drummer Chris Dalley joining us on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, as our strike chord artist. And Dalley, when I saw the title of your new EP, The Back 9, I don't know about the rest of the band, but I immediately knew that you had a major voice.
No.
Really now? Because
No.
you're the one that picked up golf that I see all the time. And who came up with the Back 9 then?
Jason did. I mean,
Really?
Jason's not.
And
Jason's not.
Jason's a golfer, or did
No.
he pick it up from you?
He's not. I don't know. I think it's another like metaphor. That's the thing. I mean, it's like,
is it a sexual metaphor?
no.
Oh,
Because
Definitely not.
I did want to share with you. We did find the slang definition of the back nine. Do you
Oh,
care
God,
for us
really?
to indulge it to you?
Sure.
It's a male orgasm during which no semen is ejaculated. So, is it fair to say that it's not intercourse, but you mean the golf course?
For me,
But you are a golfer.
I am now.
But I mean,
Yeah.
speaking on the whole idea of the back nine, so that's really
I love
interesting.
it.
So Jason DeVore, he's the one that kind of came up with this because
So ask Jason if it's because he's shooting blanks that he.
No.
Damn, son, he's probably listening. He's never gonna want to come on air with us.
He's like, who is Marissa? What's going on?
But,
I'm waiting for a text right now. I'm like, okay.
yeah, right.
My semen's intact. It's intact, man.
Tell him I'm okay.
But Dalley, usually the back nine in golf is like the hardest holes in the game. I mean, is that
Yeah.
usually was that what
That could be
was
like, I mean, like I said, I mean, Jason really never tells us. I mean, unless it's a very obvious
he
thing with
doesn't
his
tell
lyrics.
you guys?
No. It's which I like.
live with it.
I like
I'm the
that.
singer.
Because I mean, that way I don't say anything stupid. Because I'm a drummer. And I say stupid things all the time.
That's
gonna
why
start
we have
talking
you
about-
on the show.
Yeah.
But I-
Divulge your secrets.
Waiting for
no,
our manager now to text me.
yeah, I know the manager's
No more Chris Collins show.
Now we're getting
That's
Chris.
it.
No, but I find that really cool, man. I thought there was something to do with it, but I kind of like how there's like this hidden element. It was just kind of similar with your guys'
Oh, I wasn't complaining about it at all. I mean, the fact that
I
I
know you
became
weren't complaining. I
became a golfer. I became a golfer because of the pandemic. I mean, I was like, the first 2 months that we were like in lockdown, literally. I mean, we got the house, our new house, me and my family,
Yeah.
2 days before the lockdown,
Wow.
and
Wow.
there's a golf course. The 8 holes right behind me. And
so you almost made it to the back nine.
Yeah. Well, I became a golfer. I mean, I literally started golfing last July, and I'm now it's like crack, and it's good exercise.
That's so true. And I know that obviously you kind of get into a point because I think with the back nine, it kind of sort of addresses that experience of feeling that burnout, during this, god awful pandemic. So any of the bands out there that are listening to you, seeing that Authority Zero's grinding, what's your message to kind of get these other amateur bands to kind of kickstart their hearts and making something happen now?
Well, basically, I mean, you just have to drive. You have to have the drive. You have to have the determination. I mean, it's very hard nowadays, especially. I mean, it's actually easier to get your music heard now because of streaming and all that stuff. But it's also, don't expect to be making money like hand over fist. It's not going to be a very easy thing to do now.
Absolutely true.
But if you have the conviction of it, that's all that matters. I mean, I still love what I do, and as is Jason, Mike, and Eric. I mean, we have this dedication to the band to bring music to others, and like the fact that we did this, I think we made the best record of our career personally.
Oh, trust me, I heard it. Just not to give too much away, but it is fucking kick-ass, and you're in for a treat. But we're gonna be playing you the actual title EP, The Back Nine, right now. This is from their live performance with Spin Magazine. This is Authority Zero, The Back Nine.
The back nine. I've seen some things more than most people would believe. I've lived my dreams, some shattered, twisted, and buckled at the knees. I've fallen down, but ghosts come back to haunt some days. I paid the price for every stone I turned with lesson learned hard way. Just go to show I don't know what they think is all in, that's for sure. But this I know, taking my head back out, begging for more. And don't wanna talk about it. Just me say, there's no two ways around it. I am lying in. Don't please me, try and sort it out. Don't please me, try and sort it out in hindsight. Maybe I'll never be alright. I take my time, cause I to live without it. Well, that's just right for the back night.
We we actually had to end it off early because we're starting to run out of time because we wanted to have Chris Dalley back on to shout out one last time. Where can the listening audience check out Authority Zero's brand new EP? And give me something. When are we going to see the full-length album everywhere? Come on, tell us now. Tell us. Let us
Well,
know the
you can
good
get the
news.
Back Nine EP right now on any streaming services.
I got it.
Amazon, Spotify, all that stuff.
No,
iTunes.
buy the physical record. You can get
I
the
bought it on
team
Spotify.
You can't buy the physical.
Ooh,
Yeah, I bought it on Spotify. I did. I have your
Yeah.
EP.
You can buy it as an NFT. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to our thing, if you go to our actual website, authority0.com, there's a webpage for no shirt, no service, and that you could get the album and get a golf ball with some tees and all that stuff, which I again didn't have anything to do with it. Is our manager.
Okay. I bet the manager's picking up something from.
And as far as new music comes out, stay tuned. A couple days.
Woo! That's what's up. Couple days. I'm expecting Monday, next Thursday. That's my prediction. But hey, that's what's up, Chris Dalley. And thank you again for always supporting the show and
Always.
returning
Thank you,
to the Chris
guys.
College Show, Millennial
Thank
Talk
you.
Show. Very
Love you
much
both.
looking forward to seeing you guys live again.
Hell yeah.
After this damn pandemic. Good luck with the
Ciao,
rest of your
Bella.
tour. And June 10th, I know you guys got something special. Peace.
Peace.
Man, that's what's up. I can talk to Chris Dalley for like a whole other hour. I really
agree.
can, man. They got some really special music coming out. A lot of surprises. That's as much as I can tell you, but it's really something special. This is probably, my opinion, their best album to date. You guys are really in for a treat. But this is what's good because, you know, there's so much negativities on channels 2 through 11. So Marissa and I, we like to break the mold and let you guys know what's good. So Amy Bockerstein is set to become the first person with Down syndrome to compete in a national collegiate athletic championship. So the 22-year-old golfer will play with their Paradise Valley Community College teammates at the NJCAA National Championships May 10th to the 13th at Plantation Bay Golf and Country Club in Ormond Beach, Florida. So check this out, fam. She's really incredible.
Nice. Give me a 5. Nice. That is awesome.
I got this.
You got it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean, that was a viral sensation video back in like 2019 on the PGA Tour. She hit an 8-foot putt after hitting it in the bunker. I don't know about you, but I don't see too many people hitting those kind of shots like she's doing. And Marissa, what I found out, which kind of startled me on a level, but is also very exciting at the same time, I had no idea that Amy, the golfer you just saw just now, is the first person with Down syndrome to earn a college athletic scholarship.
Bravo to her, man.
It's amazing that it took this long.
You know, I'm not surprised it took this long. We're just now, over the last 10 years, seeing a shift on the stigma of having a Down syndrome child. In Iceland, there's less than 0.01% because they heavily push abortions for Down syndrome. So now there's this push saying, look, Down syndrome doesn't mean that they can't have a full life, live on their own, marry, have kids of their own, right? And they're some of the happiest people in the world. Like, I have a friend that's a Down syndrome sibling, and they're amazing. And I love that we're actually shifting that thought process of, if I had a Down syndrome child, it's not the end of my life.
It's that. Wow, I should just have you close the show.
That's what's good.
I think that was perfectly spoken. And I know Amy understands that she's breaking down barriers and has a message to those who also have a disability. And she says, quote, "My superhero is confidence and believing in myself. With your superpower, you can create your own purpose." So I love that message. And I also want to give one last shout out again to our Strike a Chord artists who returned to the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show. That is drummer Chris Dalley with Authority Zero. Go ahead right now, go on your audio streaming services and start playing the brand new EP, The Back Nine, out today. And also, Marissa, what I've been told is that there's a storm brewing.
There is. And when is this storm coming?
We are beyond stoked because we're excited to announce that Music Storm 2021 is here. So if you guys remember what we've been doing for the last 2 years, we bring back featured artists. This time around from season 7 to season 8, the Strike a Chord artists are joining us for 2 episodes, jam-packed 1-hour shows, catching up on all the new and exciting music that's in the works. So keep a lookout all over our social media page as we release the lineup for Music Storm 2021. And also don't forget to check out our brand new YouTube episode drop featuring Just Talking guest Rhett Gooder, magician specializing in virtual magic. And also want to let you guys know he's got a brand new show that's coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m. So go ahead and check that out at playupstreams.org. But if you like what you're listening to, go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a member today to get that free CCS t-shirt. For now, Marissa and I will see you next week, fam. Peace. Our brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
I love it. It's more time to chat.
Hello.
You would look
Can you
so
hear me?
jazzy.
I love your outfit.
How far would you go to start playing live music again?
This slaps harder than my ex when she got her stimulus check. So, are you here to bring the sexual healing with your music? It's called Everything is Everything, and I guarantee you're going to hear this song in the future. I love the flow, man. Politically charged album. So, if you get easily offended, this might not be the album for you. Brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
So excited.
Has Kim Kardashian accidentally sent you a coochie shot?
Do you want to stay there? It's completely your choice. Or you want to...
I feel you. And you know what I love? Off the Fret. More music talk. Peace.